Hello and welcome everyone. In this video we will see what are some things that neuroscientists know but most people don't. This video is brought to you by Question Response, the channel where you will find the answer to everything. Thanks to Lydia Stanton, Paul King, Robert Hamilton and Hina Answer for sharing their answers to this question with us. The first answer will be from Lydia Stanton.
Neuroscientists and cognitive psychologists joke that reading is a form of brainwashing, which by far is good for people, despite making us defenseless against an army of 26 letters in the alphabet. Literate people only need to look at print to know what it says. If I put a word or two in front of your eyes, you'll feel compelled to read it. Your brain does it for you automatically before you decide whether to read or not. Try to force yourself not to read the sentence below while looking at it. Investigate the visual look of the words without reading them. Easy, or not? People are much faster at reading than naming pictures. See how fast you can name all the pictures below without stumbling. You might be relatively fast. An average person would take around 10 seconds to complete the task, compared with 3 to 5 seconds if the pictures were words, but you wouldn't say naming pictures is entirely automatic, would you? The Stroop paradigm is a nice demonstration of how this problem works, see below. Try to correctly name the color of the word, irrespectively of what it says, as fast as you can. The difficulty is that, before you name the color of the ink, you involuntarily read the word, and the meaning comes to mind unbidden. Once you have learned to read, you cannot help but read words. We find this faster reading vs. naming problem astonishing because when we were children, it was the other way round. The learning to read process is irreversible. This is why it is a kind of brainwashing. The choice has been taken away from us.
The following answer is from Paul King.
Where to start? There are hundreds of surprising, perspective-shifting insights about the nature of reality that come from neuroscience. Every bizarre neurological syndrome, every visual illusion, and every clever psychological experiment reveals something entirely unexpected about our experience of the world that we take for granted. Here are a few to give a flavor. 1. Perceptual reality is entirely generated by our brain. We hear voices and meaning from air pressure waves. We see colors and objects, yet our brain only receives signals about reflected photons. The objects we perceive are a construct of the brain, which is why optical illusions can fool the brain. 2. We see the world in narrow disjoint fragments. We think we see the whole world, but we are looking through a narrow visual portal onto a small region of space. You have to move your eyes when you read because most of the page is blurry. We don't see this because as soon as we become curious about part of the world, our eyes move there to fill in the detail before we see it was missing. While our eyes are in motion, we should see a blank blur, but our brain edits this out. 3. Body image is dynamic and flexible. Our brain can be fooled into thinking a rubber arm or a virtual reality hand is actually a part of our body. In one syndrome, people believe one of their limbs does not belong to them. One man thought a cadaver limb had been sewn onto his body as a practical joke by doctors. 4. Our behavior is mostly automatic, even though we think we are controlling it. The fact that we can operate a vehicle at 60 miles per hour on the highway while lost in thought shows just how much behavior the brain can take care of on its own. Addiction is possible because so much of what we do is already automatic, including directing our goals and desires. In utilization behavior, people might grab and start using a comb presented to them without having any idea why they are doing it. In impulsivity, people act even though they know they shouldn't. 5. Our brain can fool itself in really strange ways. In Capgras syndrome, familiar people seem foreign, the opposite of déjà vu. One elderly woman who lived alone befriended a woman who appeared to her whenever she looked in a mirror. She thought this other woman looked nothing like herself, except that they seemed to have similar style and tended to wear identical outfits. Another woman was being followed by a tormentor who appeared to her in mirrors but looked nothing like herself. She was fine otherwise. 6. Neurons are really slow. Our thinking feels fast and we are more intelligent than computers, and yet neurons signal only a few times per second and the brain's beta wave cycles at 14 to 30 times per second. In comparison, computers cycle at 1 billion operations per second, and transistors switch over 10 billion times per second. How can neurons be so slow and yet we are so smart? 7. Consciousness can be subdivided. In split-brain patients, each side of the brain is individually conscious but mostly separate from the other. In post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD), memories of a traumatic event can become a compartmentalized, inaccessible island. In schizophrenia, patients hear voices that can seem separate from themselves and which criticize them or issue commands. In hypnosis, post-hypnotic suggestions can direct behavior without the individual's conscious awareness. That's a glimpse of the world through the eyes of neuroscience. More info. Visual perception. What are some mind-blowing facts about the human eye? How are memories stored in the human brain? Is everyone's experience of color the same? How can we see images in our minds?
The next answer is from Robert Hamilton.
As a neuroscience graduate student in the mid-80s at Northwestern University, I learned a big lesson. My lab was in the physiology department at the med school. It was a place of new discovery and exploration. The department was focused on the neural control of physiological systems. Once a month all faculty, postdocs and graduate students would meet for open discussion of research or concepts, with deep dish pizza and beer. Everyone was treated equal in the discussion. One month the topic was, is there a brain and a mind, or just a brain? The discussion was lively, and as it turned out all the young graduate students and postdocs were of the opinion. Of course it all happens in the brain. The faculty with their long experience were unanimous in their belief there was something beyond the brain, something more than could be explained by neural circuitry. So, we learned maintain an open head, perhaps not get entrenched in reductionism, also to acknowledge just how bit we know, while at the same time having the ability to assess analysis and separate completely that which was actually learned from any untempered conclusions made.
The next answer is from Hina Answer.
New research on the meaning of work finds out that more than 90% of employees are willing to give up a percentage of their lifetime earnings for greater meaning at work. 1. Our expectations can create significant stress when they don't match up to reality. Social media can greatly contribute to this. You compare your own worst moments to others' best moments, which very often are filtered to seem perfect. 2. You're making hundreds of decisions in a day and each will deplete your emotional and mental resources. You're more likely to overthink when you're drained, so the more you can eliminate minor decisions, the more energy you'll have for ones that really matter. 3. I started a space, exclusive, and my mission is to build biggest science-backed up psychology facts on Quora. But it would not be achieved without your support, so I welcome you to become a part of the Minditch family. What you gain from this space by becoming its member. No more random motivational screenshots and one-liner answers, you will get facts that are backed up by the latest research papers. Now you don't need to waste your valuable time on understanding the difficult terms of a research paper. No bullshit, pure research-based information with real references. Access this answer and support the author as a Quora Plus subscriber. Access all answers reserved by Hina Answer. For Quora Plus subscribers, access exclusive answers from thousands more participating creators in Quora Plus. Browse ad-free and support creators. Start free trial. Learn more.
This is the end of the video. I hope you have more answers. If you found the answer you were looking for, please leave a like and subscribe. It would help us a lot. Here is the end of the video. Leave a comment to tell us if these answers are more useful to you. See you soon.